This is the first place you told me you loved me by Sid Al-Thumali. Setting 2017, Marty's house, fall. Characters: Marty, 18 years old, going to college, keeps to himself mostly, artist. Marty's dad, mid-late 30s, loving father, cares about his son, distant. Lights up inside Marty's living room, where we see Marty sitting alone on his phone. At a 4 count, Marty's dad enters the room. He's just gotten back from the store.
Hey, buddy, I'm back.
Oh, hey, Dad.
I had to go out and grab a couple of things, but I knew I had to go out and get this.
He pulls out a bunch of college paraphernalia and shows them to Marty in the most dad-like way possible. Shirts, figurines, foam fingers, and giant hats, among other things.
I thought I'd buy all this stuff since you'll be off for college tomorrow.
Wow.
It's gonna be real quiet around here with you out of the house. Well, more quiet than usual. But I'll definitely have something planned out for dinner when you get back. Maybe have some family over.
Sure, that sounds great.
Good.
At least with all this college stuff, it'll be hard for you to forget about where I went.
They laugh and watch TV. They stand still, as if frozen in time. Slowly, Marty pulls out a heavy object from his pocket. It is a piece of paper. He's been carrying this paper for a long time. Marty attempts to say something, but his dad intercepts.
Hey, Marty, could you grab me a Coke from the kitchen? Hello? Did you hear me okay? Is everything all right, son?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll get that Coke. Is there anything else you need?
Nope, I'm okay. Thanks, bud, I appreciate it.
Marty's dad watches TV. Marty gets up and heads to the door, the paper still lodged in his hand. Just before Marty opens the door, he turns to his dad and asks,
Hey, Dad, before I go, can I share this thing I wrote? I've been struggling with it for a long time, and I wanted to share it.
Sure, I'd love to hear it. I'm no expert, but I'm sure it's great coming from you.
Dear Dad, for a while, something was wrong about me. Something that didn't fit in line with what you've taught me. Whenever I felt this way, you said I needed to stay close to God, else it would lead me down the path of the devil. So, like the devil, I smothered it, killed it, suppressed it until I no longer heard those temptations. You always told me to set course. Hoist your sails, follow the winds, let nature guide your way. On that trail, I met Richard. I didn't know it then, but without his help, life would be darker than it was. He's a confidant, a friend, a brother. He introduced me to his partner. His name was Daniel. His name, not her name, his. My heart felt a sting, like it was pierced by a needle. Something was trying to crawl out. I asked him so many questions about what I was feeling inside. My face went white when his answers were just like mine. He too heard those voices. He too tried to smother it, suppress it, kill it. But he learned that voice was no devil. That voice that was bursting out of him was himself, begging to be free, pleading with him to live his truth. Rich then asked me, "Who are you?" Man, what the hell kind of question is that? I said, chuckling. Not laughing back, he said, "Who are you?" I guess for the longest time I thought I knew. I looked into his eyes. How? How can God punish someone so kind, so thoughtful, so beautiful because he's chosen to love someone who happens to share the same organs as him? I can't proudly say I support his choices when I actively don't support mine. I glanced at Richard, connected with him, piercing his soul as he did with me, as I am with you, with love, hope, and fear. I said, "My name is Marty, And I am gay.
Pause. No one says anything for a long time. Marty's dad struggles to find the right words. Marty sits down in the chair next to his dad. Marty doesn't make eye contact with him.
Is there anything you want to say?
No.
No. Okay.
Actually, that was about. Do you think you're actually?
I mean, I guess.
Well,
like,
what do you mean? What do you mean? I guess. Are you not sure?
No, I am. I mean, it's hard to explain.
What's so hard to explain? You're either gay or you're not.
Dad, this whole thing, it's like very complicated to explain and figure out. All I know is that this is the direction I feel like I need to go right now.
Yes, but what I'm asking is, how do you know you're gay?
I just did. It was a feeling. I don't know how else to explain it.
But besides what that Richard boy put into your head, how do you know what you're saying is true? All these thoughts, feelings, whatever, they're just a phase. It's okay to give in to temptation once in a while, but you always need to repent for your sins. As long as you ask for forgiveness, you won't be led astray.
Has it ever crossed your mind that this might not be a phase? That the forgiveness I needed to ask for had to come from myself, not necessarily from God?
Forgive yourself? What does that even mean? The only person that you should be asking forgiveness from is God. I've done a lot of bad things in my life. You know this. But I always look toward God to help me. Remember how I used to drink a lot? Turning to God helped me cut back on drinking. He can help you find your way out of sodomy.
Dad, your drinking and my sexual identity are two different things completely.
No, they're not. Name one different thing about them then.
You got to choose to cut back on drinking. If I have to suppress this thing anymore, I don't know.
What? What don't you know? Quit with all the theatrics and all these empty words. Who cares about sexual identity and all that bullshit? Did you have to make such a big deal about this? I'm not going to see you for a long time. And this is how you choose to treat your old man.
Dad, how am I supposed to tell you anything if you're not going to listen to me?
Watch that tone with me. I listen to you all the time. You're selfishly thinking about yourself without thinking about what this means for our family. That's why you've been so quiet, isn't it? All these times I've seen you sitting on your phone. Just a minute ago you were glued to the damn thing, and not only that, but I haven't even seen you around the house for what seems like forever. You think whatever bullshit thing you're going through is hard? Have you stopped to consider how I feel? Of course not. It's never like that with you people. It's always the parades and the fame and TV shows when it comes to the gays. You do it all for fucking attention. Who did you text when I got here?
I don't text.
Cut the crap, Marty. Was it that Richard? What were you saying?
No, I'm not in a relationship with him.
I never said you were in a relationship. Marty, are you in a relationship?
Even if I was, do you think I'd actually tell you about him?
Great. Not only has this Richard fucked with your head, but now you're whoring around with some pervert.
His name is Emmett. He's not a fucking pervert. He's my boyfriend.
Who do you think you are talking to me like that?
I'm proud to be his boyfriend. I'm not going to stand here while you insult the last person who actually fucking listens to me.
How do you expect me to listen to you when you don't even give a shit about us? How the fuck am I going to tell people my goddamn son is a faggot?
There he goes. There he goes. Yes, Father, you really got me there. I really wanted to fuck up your reputation. I woke up today and I was like, gee, How can I destroy the last strain of a relationship that I had with my loving father? Oh, I know. I'll be gay. That'll get him. Figuring all this out wasn't easy. Hell, I even had an idea about how you were going to respond, but I didn't think it would be so. Every single time I thought about telling you, and it kept burning a hole inside. It was either tell you what was going on or suppress the thing until you were dead. I wanted you to be part of my life. It was killing me not that you didn't know. It was making me sick. Not just because of the guilt of lying to you, but that I was suppressing a whole different person inside of me. That's the person I was killing. I was smothering me.
Marty's dad is unable to find the right words to say. Marty's dad walks to the door, takes a moment, and leaves. Marty is left alone with his thoughts for a moment. We see Marty's dad enter again with something in his hand.
I wanted to give you this before you left tomorrow. May I read it to you now? I'll read it to you anyway, and I hope you'll listen.
He opens the letter.
Dear Marty, I can't believe you're off to college. It's so strange seeing y'all grown up. Parents say that their kids will always be their kids, even if they're adults. But it's hard to say that about you because of how much you've changed. I'm so proud of the man you've become. My own father was distant. Whenever I did something out of line, I was beaten for it, suppressed from ever thinking or doing anything that went against God. I didn't want to give you that kind of life. I wanted to give you the opposite of what I had. I had to protect you from the stuff that I've been through. Though we might not always agree on things, I still think you should go into business or something. Who knows? Maybe poetry suits you. You've always had a magnificent way with words. It will always be my job to protect you. Even though we haven't talked too much these past few weeks, I'll always be there for you. Through thick and thin. No matter what happens, I'll always have your back. Love, your dad.
Thank you.
I meant those words then, and I mean them now.
I hope so.
Pause. We hear the sound of a text message. Marty and his dad stare at each other. Dad leaves, and we are left with Marty alone again. The text message is from Emmett. We see the text conversation projected somewhere on stage. Emmett text. Hey, just wanted to check up on you. How did it go?
Is it all right if we talk about it later?
Emmett text. Yeah, of course. Marty gets up. He walks to the place where his dad was standing and receives another text from Emmett. We see a picture of them that he attached to the message. Emmett text. This is the first place you told yourself you wanted to live. This is the first place where your life began anew. This is the first place you told me you loved me. This is the first place I told you I loved you too. Lights slowly fade as Marty texts back. The end.